how to generate more revenue from your meeting room product. And we are really very fortunate to have Tod Shapiro, who's the VP and Director of Operations for the New York City Seminar and Conference Center. And I'm just so thrilled because this is all Tod and his team do. So they know meeting rooms upside down, left and right, and will certainly provide us with some pretty tremendous and wonderful insight. The first thing that we're going to do, we have got 3 sections of our webinar today. First, we're going to talk about the meeting room opportunity. It's much greater than everybody really realizes or wants to believe. Then we're going to have some recommendations from Tod as to how to maximize the revenue from your meeting room product. And then we are going to wrap up with an open Q&A. So we can actually do the Q&A verbally if you want to. I will unmute everybody at the end, or if you'd like to, please feel free to post your questions in the control panel, and what we'll do is we'll go ahead and answer your questions at the end of the session. We're going to keep this to a tight 30 minutes so that we max everybody's time with us. So what I wanted to just do is a little bit of quick math. I've been speaking with a lot of people over the course of, the last 6 to 12 months, and meeting rooms happen to be hot and heavy on my brain. And that's really because if many of you have attended my webinars in the past, we know that the office price is getting killed and that we're really not going to recoup the office rents that we were back in 2007. And while we are seeing a slight increase in incremental revenue and profitability, that increase is really being driven by those line items that were once deemed non-core, like meeting rooms and virtual offices, and I dare say technology services as well. So over the past couple of months, I've been speaking with a bunch of providers and saying, hey, the GWA says that most providers monetize only 9% of their meeting room time. And that's because many providers give meeting room time away for free, which I think is a big mistake. And also because they're just not marketing it properly. I've had a number of people say to me, oh my goodness, Andrea, I have one location, and I'm generating $5,000 a month $2,500 a month in from my meeting room space. And isn't that wonderful? And I said, yeah, I guess that's pretty good. But if you actually do the math, and you'll all just need to do the math. I'm sure you've done this as you've established your overall budgets, but you'll need to do the math for your particular location. But if we just take a broad stroke here and we say that you've got either 2 or 3 meeting rooms in your location, and that the average of available hours, within office hours, 40 hours a week, times those number of locations is either 320 or 480 hours. Now, a lot of people are actually offering 24-hour service with the aid of some technology. But let's just say you're only booking during office hours. And you multiply that by an average of $35, I just picked that number off the top of my head just for illustrative purposes, then your really monthly opportunity is $11,200 or $17,000, not $2,500. And you see what that is annualized. And if you have multiple locations, well, of course, it exponentially increases. And so what I'm here today to say is, hey, listen, there's a tremendous opportunity with your meeting room product line. There's no question about it. You need to review your product line and your offering. You need to make sure that you have the right meeting space for the people that you're catering to in your market. I want you to turn your pricing upside down. The few people who I've spoken to, they're saying, yeah, I've generated X amount of revenue and I'm getting market rate. Well, you're not really getting market rate, because if your hourly rate was what the market would bear, then likely your existing clients and your clients and clients outside of the center would be taking you up more and utilizing more of your hours. So my recommendation is really to consider offering subscription pricing. And when we go back to a very valuable stat that Laurent from Cloud VO shared with us about a year and a half ago, and he said, hey, listen, when you take your virtual office product and you add on the 16 hours of office or meeting room time, 50% of the people don't use any of the time at all. So I've kind of took that stat that Laurent provided us with, and I said, this is really what we all know. It's a gym membership, right? So you offer up a subscription meeting room offering. You've got that monthly reoccurring revenue that's predictable, that's forecastable. You can offer highly competitive rates, potentially 50 or 60% off of your hourly rate, knowing that on the subscription basis that they're not going to fully utilize all those hours, the 16 hours that you've provided to them. Of course, don't do that on training rooms because that's a completely different animal. And if you book a training room, the chances are more high and likely that you're going to utilize that training room time. So turn your pricing on the head. Are you really getting market? Please consider subscription pricing. You're selling air. You're selling this meeting room time that likely will not be utilized, and you're going to have more predictable monthly recurring revenue. Understand your competition, and a lot of this is what Todd's going to talk about in just a minute. And understand your competitive advantage against your competition. And certainly your competition, as Todd is going to get into, is not just like business centers. There are a lot of more competitive forces in the marketplace right now that are really that are, number one, in a wonderful way, raising awareness for the small meeting room offering. We love that. But number two, looking to grab up what market share that you have. All right. So I just wanted to give you a bit of an overview, a bit of an introduction as to what Todd is going to be addressing, and provide you with some thoughts as to what you can do tomorrow really to change your approach to meeting rooms. And Todd, I'm going to hand it off to you. If you could tell us a little bit, and I'm going to ask you these questions as we go along, so I'll be like Oprah Winfrey for the next 20 minutes. But if you could share with us a bit, Todd, let us know about you and your background and the unique model that you have over at New York City Seminar and Conference Centers.
Thank you, Andrea. So the HappyDesk technology has really been a godsend for us. We're a corporate conference center that specializes in offering technology events. We're located in Chelsea, Flatiron neighborhood in Manhattan, in New York City. It's a highly competitive environment. We're competing against conventional corporate conference centers, hotels, specialized event venues, restaurants with event space. So we really have to be on our toes. We basically compete by offering value conference space. So we're on average anywhere from 2/3 the cost of what you get at a high-end conference center or a hotel, and we are basically a corporate conference center only. We don't have hotel rooms. We don't really do in-house catering. So we're really just selling the rooms, and the kind of clients we appeal to are a broad mix. They're nonprofits, they're technology companies, they're small businesses in the area. We actually get a lot of international events. The way we have sold traditionally is we have a conventional sales channel with salespeople that call and reach out to customers. Probably our biggest sales channel is the internet. We do a lot of pay-per-click advertising, and we have a very highly evolved website, and people tend to come to us over the internet by word of mouth, and our specialty is technology events. Now, what we see more and more in our neighborhood is that people want to do self-serve. They want to come to our website, they want to see the pricing, and they want to book 24/7. So very similar to what you have with OpenTable or with airlines, people just want to go online and book. They don't necessarily want to talk to our sales staff or our event planners. So the HappyDesk technology allows us to take our inventory of rooms, put it online, okay, and basically we can link that with our existing internet marketing, and people will go to our website, see the inventory of rooms, and book. They can pay by credit card, they can put in their information, and they can do this pretty much 24/7 or whatever hours we want to make our inventory of rooms available. It's been very successful. And it's really something that we have to have. There's a lot of competition out there. I'm sure you've heard of liquid space and other services like that. As a small business and independent conference center, we have got to be able to compete with that. Now, it's interesting, if you heard what Andrea said, it's a great service. We actually have been using it for a couple of months now. We've been working with the HappyDesk team. They've been working with us to get the word out about it. We've promoted it to our mailing list. It's on our website. We've done articles in the local trade press, and we see people, we've had new clients that have come to us. They just book, they see it, they book, they pay. It takes the load off of our sales staff. And for our existing clients even, it's been a godsend, because we have a lot of existing clients that will take advantage of this, and instead of having to call regular business hours to get a person on the phone, they can just do it themselves. And one of the things that's great is the HappyDesk programmers have been able to respond to our needs. So for example, they've implemented, Andrea was talking about the specialized pricing models. A lot of our existing clients, we can go to them and put in special pricing, just based on the volume or their past history with us, so they can go online and get a discount. We're working on a marketing plan where we're going to coordinate with local restaurants and concierge services and hotels that don't have their own conference space. There's a tremendous coupon facility where people can put in coupons with specialized codes and get discounts. I mean, quite honestly, this I think is the wave of the future, and it complements our existing sales channel, right? So it's allowing us to be more efficient than ever. It's allowing us to reach new people, and it's providing a better service to our existing clients. And I can honestly say that, in our segment of the market, some of the bigger players are moving towards book now or online booking, where you can pay and do everything yourself, but a lot of people don't have it. And I would suspect that the office share market, which I understand is HappyDesk's traditional space, I think that if you were to organize yourselves and get your inventory out there in this way as we have, I think it'll definitely be a moneymaker for you. So, I can't recommend it highly enough, and I look forward to seeing the HappyDesk programmers continue to add functionality to it.
Thank you, Todd. That's awesome, and I'm so glad that it's working for you. When we were talking on the phone on Monday, you mentioned that you had carved out some of your inventory to make available online and also to make available 24/7. Would you share that strategy with everybody who's on the phone so that they maybe can give some thought as to how they might carve out their inventory? And again, knowing that most people on the phone may only have, the two or three meeting rooms, but they also have a bunch of day offices that they can also put on the market. Again, different than your model, but I'm sure that you can, take the leap to theirs.
Well, for us, it seems that the small rooms or rooms on short notice is what a lot of the market is after. In other words, somebody's at a hotel or they're at a restaurant or they've arrived on short notice. They want a basic room, just no nonsense, book it and pay and get the room on the schedule that day or the night before. So what we do, I would say that our bread and butter business is actually quite complex technology events that are booked 2 months in advance, that are multiple days, that require a lot of setup. So that maybe takes up about 60% of our inventory of available rooms. But the 40% that isn't used are just standard 200 square foot and 800 square foot rooms. The reality is, at any given point in time, a good portion of that inventory is available for short-term bookings. So what we do is we look at our calendar and schedule, and we pick out some rooms that are not heavily used or that are open, and those are the ones that we show through the HappyDesk technology and put up on our website. So I would recommend that to all of the office share places. You don't need a lot of rooms, right? You could just designate or allocate. If you have 4 rooms, you could take 2. You could put it up 5 days a week or 6 days a week. You could couple that with some direct marketing or pay-per-click advertising, or try to work with local vendors. So really, the way we're doing it is we take our small rooms and maybe just 1 or 2 of our 800 square foot rooms. Those are fairly generic rooms. We have pictures and videos of them. We put them up on the internet, and we get the word out that they're available. So I think that A lot of companies can do that. I'm willing to bet that the rooms that you have are underutilized. And if you understand that the market is moving towards right on time scheduling and where people can just do it from their smartphones, that's one other thing I would mention. It's great the way you guys were able to modify your technology to work on mobile platforms, because for the smaller rooms, that's what people are doing. They arrive in a hotel room, they take out their tablets or smartphones, and they just want to book. They'll go downstairs to a concierge, or they'll look for some sort of printed piece. They're just going to book it themselves. So really, with us, we pick out our excess inventory of rooms, and it's creating new revenue streams for us. So you got to look closely at the availability of your rooms and then get it out on your website in an attractive way, and couple that with an effective marketing campaign.
Thank you. And we were also talking about the competition, and you were talking about hotels, and one of your unique points of differentiation, versus hotels, and we had gone into the simplicity and ease of booking. I think we had also gone into your niche in small spaces. Can you just talk a bit about the hotel competitive landscape and how you are successfully competing against hotels? Because everybody on this call is competing against hotels.
First of all, a lot of the hotels don't really have anything like the HappyDesk technology where you can book and pay. Most of the time you're calling up and they're trying to sell you either catering or hotel rooms, and they won't get back to you that quickly. So the way we differentiate ourselves, it's just no nonsense space, book 24/7, get the room. If you want, one big thing is there's no minimums when people book our rooms. If they use the technology, it's just right there. It's $30 an hour or $40 an hour, or it's a flat rate for a larger room. You cannot get that information out of a lot of the hotels and restaurants and specialized event venues in New York City. So the idea of just setting up your own account and booking and paying and seeing what your price is, or having the coupon and just being able to do it in a short time, you just can't do that with the hotel, right? You may be able to go online and book the hotel, but it's often unclear what you're paying, and there may be additional terms and conditions on cancellation that you're not aware of, or may not be as attractive as what we have. So I think that particularly for technology companies or people that are local and looking for do-it-yourself service, I think that having the HappyDesk technology is going to be an advantage relative to a hotel. Where we are in Manhattan, the hotels are just outrageously expensive. They have minimums, and you have to buy food. What we have is so simple. You just see a picture of the room, you've got a good price associated with it, and you just book and pay, and that's it. You don't have to talk to a salesperson. The way the technology is set up, you can have add-ins if you want. You can add a projector or internet, or we have specialized technology support. Those are things that hotels and restaurants are just not going to have. In fact, our big competitive advantage is if you come to us and you have a technology event, our in-house staff is going to make sure it works. If you go to a hotel or a restaurant, they just stumble over that, or they're just going to outsource it at incredible price, and there's just no way that you're going to get that kind of service from a hotel or a restaurant. And that's one thing that we get out through our marketing and website. Those things are always front and center.
Yeah, that's a great point in terms of putting that front and center, because, if the hotel is the prospect's next best alternative, we really do need to spoon feed them and help to educate the prospect as to why a shared space provider or a seminar, and conference center is better than a hotel. Hotels are for turning down beds, and they're for room nights. We're built to enhance business performance. And that ease of use that you're talking about is key. I tried to book a meeting at a hotel in Florida. It was crazy how many people I had to talk to in order to book the meeting. But that brings me to, as a marketer, it brings me to pay-per-click and SEO and online marketing. I've always found that it's very expensive to compete online from a PPC standpoint for meeting spaces. In terms of of a digital marketing plan, what has been what has been most successful for you? And where do you drive the traffic? Do you drive it to your homepage? Do you drive it to the e-commerce area? Where do you, once you drive that, where do you get the traffic from? And once you drive the traffic in, where does it go?
Well, we have a budget of approximately $4,000 a month, which we use for pay-per-click advertising. So what we've seen is there's a diminishing return with that. There are a lot of big players in the industry that are, just burying us in terms of the dollar amounts that they use for pay-per-click advertising. So it's still effective for us, but not nearly so much. So what we've done is we have a multi-pronged approach. One thing that we've done is the use of social media. We're constantly if you hear about hyper-local advertising or a hyper-local approach to your marketing, that's something that we're heavily invested in. If you think about the HappyDesk technology with the smartphones and the tablets and working with local restaurants or hotels that don't have their own conference space, what we do is we make sure that we have articles that are printed on local blogs. We're part of something called the Nearsay network that saturates local websites as part of a network where articles about our conference space and what's distinctive about it are out there all the time. And what we've seen is we've gotten a lot of clients that have done that. So by combining that, so as an example, I did an article as soon as we had the HappyDesk technology about how people could book and pay 24/7, give a credit card at any time. We put it on the Nearsay network, which has as part of its network dozens of local blogs where people write articles and comment about things going on in our neighborhood. And within the space of a couple of weeks, we had several new clients. We had Pret a Manger. They saw it. They booked it. This is a company that might not have, if they just did a Google search, they probably would have ended up at our competitors, right? But I suspect that they saw one of those articles or somebody in the local store saw it and they came to us. So I think that the pay-per-click advertising has to be supplemented by more of a hyper-local strategy. And again, just book it yourself. Book it now is the way we promote it. It's just being able to step outside of your restaurant and see word about the local resources and just be able to book it in like 30 seconds. That's the way you have to market that. That's the way you have to promote it. And it's true, right? There's no way we as an independent conference center can possibly compete with the pay-per-click budgets of some of the larger hotels. But it's certainly possible.
Yeah, and it certainly is possible. I mean, the local provider can absolutely always find ways to compete against the 500-pound gorilla, no question. Um, Are you finding that your clients then are self-fulfilling? So once they get in via once they buy online, do you find that they're going back then and self-fulfilling without the need of staff to support them, or how is that working?
I would say that a lot of our smaller clients, that are in the neighborhood, once they learn how to use the technology, they just do it themselves. They're not using in-house corporate event planners. They're not calling our office. Once they get the hang of the website and the HappyDesk integration, they just do it on their own. And we see that as a tremendous growth area for us. Particularly since we're competitive on price. And just the nature of the neighborhood that we're in, where you have so many people that are tech savvy, the Flatiron District, the Silicon Alley as they call it, people are receptive to that. They don't want to talk to regular salespeople. They don't want to go through corporate event planners. They just want to do it themselves, no nonsense, and do it on a shoestring if they have to. So, if you think about the bigger hotels, they're dealing with in-house corporate event planners. They may be doing things through the conventional sales channel. For us, as an independent place, I think the growth is in these new businesses and this new way of managing space.
Yep, I absolutely agree. So if there, and you have been so incredibly gracious with adding, providing us with your, really detailed knowledge and successes, I really greatly appreciate it. If there were three things or two things in summary that the folks on this, phone, should consider doing tomorrow, what would those three things be if we just synthesized all this wonderful stuff that you provided to us?
First of all, make sure that whatever management system that you have to manage your resources and space, that it's set up so that you can easily interface with things like HappyDesk. Okay, so the fact that so in other words, if you have a conference center management tool where you can manage your inventory and rooms, make sure that that's something that will interface easily with HappyDesk. If you look at what we have, HappyDesk integrates completely into our custom website. The next thing is make sure that you have a website that people can see what's there, see the rooms quickly, efficiently, cleanly. If you go to our website, www.nycscc.com, you'll notice that the rooms are front and center. You just see the room, you click, and you can pay, right? So that, is something that you got to focus on. And then the third thing is, pick an advertising strategy. Oh, the other thing is make sure your technology is mobile enabled, because what we're seeing is a spike in the number of people that are using mobile devices and tablets. Make sure that whatever technology you use, that it's mobile enabled. And then, as I said, come up with an advertising strategy, a PR strategy that's going to get it in front of people on a hyperlocal basis. Because the kind of people that are going to book on short notice are usually going to be people that are right in your own neighborhood.
That's just absolutely brilliant. I agree with that all. Thank you. I don't see any questions that have come through. So please, if you're going to, if you'd like to ask a question, just please pop it into the question area on your control panel. But Tod, I really can't thank you enough. We're absolutely thrilled that you're pleased with the HappyDesk platform. We really built this so that shared space providers of all shapes and sizes, whether it's traditional shared space or meeting and convention centers or traditional real estate, have the turnkey software they need to run their space. So as of September, our software will include not only the white label e-commerce platform to sell virtual offices and meeting rooms and offices, but also a CRM, a billing feature. It'll have electronic proposals, a customer portal, door access control. Honestly, everything that you need. Every single member of the HappyDesk leadership team has worked in this category for about 10 years or more. And we've worked very closely with our clients, including Tod, to say, hey, what do you need to run your shared space? And so we built it in that way. You'll see that all of the features interact so that your client can go into the client portal and book. The HappyDesk provider can use the billing feature to send out a bill automated so that you get rid of the time involved in billing. The Wi-Fi access feature will go ahead and open the room and turn on the Wi-Fi. There'll be a social platform so that you can see who's in the space. It's really everything that you need to run your shared space. And so we're excited. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me directly or any member of the HappyDesk team. We are absolutely here to support you in, my goodness, enhancing your business performance, but on the topic of this webinar, certainly to enhance your meeting room revenue. So, Tod, thank you very much. I am indebted to you for sharing your experiences and insights and best practices with us, and I think everybody on the phone must feel the same. So.
My pleasure, and if anybody has any questions, feel free to contact me. My email is Tod, T-O-D, at nycseminarcenter.com. I'll be happy to answer any questions, or if you want to see how we've integrated the HappyDesk technology right into our website, just take a look. Go to www.nycscc.com, and you can check it out yourself. Kick the tires.
Thank you, and thank you for taking time away from your vacation to be with us today. All right.
My pleasure.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.